Welcome to Minute of Wisdom. Today we're exploring one of the most liberating yet challenging teachings in modern philosophy, the art of letting go as taught by Alan Watts. Alan Watts was a British philosopher who became one of the most influential interpreters of Eastern philosophy. For Western audiences in the 20th century, he had a unique gift for making ancient wisdom accessible and practical. And perhaps no teaching of his resonates more powerfully today than his insights on letting go, on non-attachment, on the release of the ego's grip. Before we dive in, let me ask you a question. What are you holding on to right now that's causing you pain? Not physical pain, but that persistent mental and emotional suffering that follows you through your days. A grudge, a regret, an expectation, a self-image, a need for control, a fear of what might happen. Whatever it is, hold that in your mind as we explore this teaching together. Watts begins with a simple observation. Most of our suffering comes not from life itself, but from our relationship to life. Specifically from our grasping, our clinging, our desperate attempt to hold on to what we want and push away what we don't want. We clutch at pleasure and flee from pain. We cling to certainty and resist change. We grasp at identity and fear dissolution. And here's the paradox Watts illuminates so beautifully. The tighter we grip, the more we suffer. The more we try to control, the more out of control we feel. The harder we chase security, the more insecure we become. It's like trying to hold water in a clenched fist. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips through your fingers. Letting go is not about giving up. This is crucial to understand. It's not resignation, it's not passivity, it's not apathy. Letting go is about releasing the tension, the grasping, the compulsive need to make reality conform to your preferences. It's about relaxing your grip so you can actually engage with what is, rather than exhausting yourself fighting what isn't. Watts often used the metaphor of swimming. If you panic in water, if you tense up and thrash around, trying to force yourself to float, you sink. But if you relax, if you let go of the fear and the struggle, you naturally rise. The water holds you, not because you forced it to, but because you stopped fighting it. This is the essence of non-attachment, not detachment. Notice the difference. Detachment implies disconnection, coldness, not caring. Non-attachment means you engage fully, you care deeply, but you don't cling. You participate without grasping. You love without possessing. You act without being attached to the outcome. Now, this sounds beautiful in theory, but how do we actually practice it? Watts offers us several entry points. Let's explore 3 key questions that can help unlock this practice in your own life. First question, what am I holding on to that I cannot control? This is about distinguishing between effort and tension. Effort is appropriate action toward what you can influence. Tension is the mental grip you maintain on things beyond your control. And we do this constantly. We worry about what others think of us. We replay past conversations trying to change them in our minds. We rehearse future scenarios obsessively. We clutch at outcomes we cannot determine. Watts would say, notice this. Notice when you're gripping something you cannot control. And here's the practice, acknowledge it. Then consciously relax the grip. Not by forcing yourself to stop caring, but by recognizing the futility of the tension. You can care about the outcome without clutching at it. You can want something without demanding reality provided. Think about a relationship in your life. Romantic, familial, professional. How much energy are you spending trying to control how that person sees you, feels about you, behaves toward you? That's exhausting, isn't it? And it doesn't work. The more you try to control someone else's perception or behavior, the more strained the relationship becomes. Letting go here means you show up authentically, you communicate clearly, You act with integrity and then you release the outcome. You cannot force someone to love you, respect you, understand you. You can only be yourself and allow them to respond as they will. That's terrifying for the ego, but it's also incredibly freeing. Second question, where am I creating suffering by resisting what already is? This gets to the heart of Watts's teaching on acceptance. He had this wonderful line, "Muddy water is best cleared by leaving it alone." We spend so much energy fighting reality. This shouldn't have happened. They shouldn't be this way. I shouldn't feel like this. Life should be different. And Watts says, look what you're doing. You're adding a layer of suffering on top of the situation itself. The situation is one thing, your resistance to it is another. Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. Pain is what happens. Suffering is the story you tell yourself about what happened, plus your refusal to accept it. This doesn't mean you don't work to change difficult situations. It means you start from acceptance of what is, not from denial or resistance. You acknowledge reality as it currently exists, and then you choose how to respond. That response might be to take action, to set boundaries, to walk away, to adapt. But it comes from a place of clarity, not reactivity. I'll give you an example. Let's say you lose your job. That's painful. But notice how much additional suffering comes from the resistance. This shouldn't have happened. It's not fair. I'm a failure. My life is ruined. All of that is resistance. It's the mind arguing with reality. And you can't win that argument. Reality is what it is. Letting go means you feel the pain of the loss, you acknowledge the difficulty, but you don't add the layer of resistance. This happened. It's challenging. I don't like it. And it's what's real right now. From that place of acceptance, you can actually respond effectively. You can look for new opportunities. You can reassess your direction. You can ask for help. But as long as you're caught in resistance, all your energy goes into fighting what already happened. Third question, what identity or self-image am I clinging to that limits my freedom? This is perhaps the deepest level of letting go. Watts was profoundly influenced by Buddhism and Taoism, and central to both traditions is the teaching that the separate, solid self is an illusion. The ego, that sense of being a fixed, independent entity, is a construction. And it's a construction that causes immense suffering. We build these self-images. I'm the smart one. I'm the responsible one. I'm the victim. I'm the success. I'm the failure. And then we spend enormous energy maintaining these images, defending them, proving them. We become rigid. We can't admit mistakes because that would threaten the image. We can't try new things because we might fail, and that would contradict the identity. We can't be vulnerable because that's not who we think we are. Watts invites us to let go of these fixed identities, not to have no sense of self, but to hold self-image lightly. To recognize that you are not a fixed thing, you're a process, a flow, constantly changing. What you were yesterday doesn't have to constrain what you are today. What you think you are doesn't have to limit what you might become. This is incredibly liberating. When you're not defending a rigid identity, you can be honest. You can say, I don't know. You can admit when you're wrong. You can change your mind. You can experiment. You can be surprised by yourself. You become fluid, adaptive, creative. Life becomes play rather than a constant test of whether you're measuring up to your own self-concept. Now here's where Watts's teaching connects deeply with contemporary psychology. Research on psychological flexibility, which is the ability to stay present and take action, aligned with your values even in the presence of difficult thoughts and emotions, shows that this capacity is fundamental to well-being. And what is psychological flexibility if not the practice of non-attachment? You experience the thought, the emotion, the urge, But you don't have to obey it. You don't have to be controlled by it. You can notice it and let it go. Similarly, research on mindfulness meditation, which has exploded in recent decades, is essentially training in non-attachment. You watch thoughts arise and pass without grabbing onto them. You observe sensations without needing them to be different. You cultivate that spacious awareness that Watts talked about, where you're present but not grasping. But Watts would add something crucial that sometimes gets lost in modern mindfulness discourse. Letting go is not just a technique for stress reduction, though it does reduce stress. It's a fundamental reorientation to existence. It's recognizing that you are not separate from life, trying to control it from the outside. You are life expressing itself. And when you let go of the illusion of separation, when you relax the ego's grip, you discover that you are held by something larger than yourself. Watts often spoke about the wisdom of insecurity. We spend our lives chasing security, trying to nail everything down, trying to eliminate uncertainty. But life is inherently uncertain. Change is the only constant. And the pursuit of absolute security is what makes us insecure. We're always bracing, always defending, always anxious about what might go wrong. Letting go means embracing insecurity, not as something to tolerate, but as the nature of reality. When you stop fighting it, when you stop demanding that life be other than it is, something shifts. You become more resilient, not because you've built impenetrable walls, but because you've learned to flow with whatever comes. You're not rigid, you're flexible. You bend, you adapt, you respond. And here's the beautiful paradox. When you let go of control, you often find that things work out better than when you were trying to force them. Not because the universe rewards you for letting go, but because when you're not stuck in tension and grasping, you're more present, more creative, more responsive to opportunity. You see possibilities you couldn't see before because you weren't locked into a predetermined outcome. In relationships, this transforms everything. When you let go of the need for someone to be a certain way, when you release the agenda, the manipulation, the subtle coercion, space opens up. Real intimacy becomes possible because you're meeting the actual person, not your projection. Real love becomes possible because it's not conditional on them fulfilling your needs. You love them for who they are, not for what they do for you. In work, letting go unlocks creativity. When you're not clinging to a particular outcome, when you're not paralyzed by fear of failure, you can experiment. You can take risks. You can follow curiosity. Some of the greatest innovations come not from forced effort, but from playful exploration, from people who were willing to not know, to let go of what they thought should happen and see what wanted to emerge. In your relationship with yourself, letting go is perhaps most transformative. When you stop demanding that you be other than you are, when you release the relentless self-criticism, the impossible standards, the stories about how you should be different, you can finally rest. You can be here now as you actually are, not as a finished product, but as a work in progress. Not as someone who has it all figured out, but as someone willing to keep learning, keep growing, keep letting go. So let's come back to those 3 questions. This week, I invite you to work with them as daily practices. First, each day, identify one thing you're trying to control that you actually cannot control. Name it. Write it down if that helps. Then practice consciously releasing the grip. Not once, but every time you notice yourself clenching around it again. This is not a one-time decision. It's a repeated gesture of relaxation. Second, notice when you're resisting what is. When you catch yourself arguing with reality, saying this shouldn't be, pause. Acknowledge what is actually happening without the layer of resistance. Then choose your response from that place of acceptance. Third, question your self-identifications. When you hear yourself say, I'm the kind of person who always, or I'm not the kind of person who, ask, is that true? Is that really a fixed fact about me? Or is it just a story I've been telling? What becomes possible if I let that identity go? Alan Watts spent his life pointing toward the liberation that comes from letting go, not as an escape from life, but as a fuller engagement with it. When you're not clutching, you can actually receive. When you're not defending, you can actually connect. When you're not demanding, you can actually appreciate what's being offered. As Watts said, the meaning of life is just to be alive. It is so plain and so obvious and so simple. And yet everybody rushes around in a great panic as if it were necessary to achieve something beyond themselves. What if it's not necessary? What if you could just be here, just be alive, just let go of the desperate grasping and discover that you're already enough? Life is already whole, and you are already free. Thank you for these 10 minutes. If this resonates with you, subscribe to Minute of Wisdom for more philosophical frameworks for living with more freedom and less suffering. And remember, you don't have to hold so tight. Life will hold you if you let it. See you next time.